Welcome to the program. I'm Mark Imperial. This segment's brought to you by booksgrowbusiness.com. It's the place where busy professionals get their books done and published to educate consumers, grow their businesses, and to leave a legacy. Joining me on this segment is Larry Swanson with TransWorld. Larry, welcome to the program.
How you doing? It's nice to see you.
Larry, tell us a little bit about your work and specifically, who are the types of clients that you specialize in helping?
So TransWorld Business Advisors, we're the largest brokerage firm in the country, actually in the world. So our focus is helping people sell their businesses and also transactional activities. We'll do valuations for businesses and also help buyers with transactions and sometimes even helping them find businesses. So that's kind of our meat and potatoes is working with sellers to maximize the value of their business and helping them transition it to the next new owner.
So let's talk about these business owners that you help. Do they really, when it comes to selling their business or transitioning, do they even know where to start? Like, do they understand the role of an exit planning advisor or a business broker? Kind of shed some light on that for us.
Well, as you might expect, there's a variety of different levels of knowledge with business owners as far as transactioning and transitioning their business. I would say the majority of them don't really understand what's involved with selling your business. They don't really understand some of the critical things like confidentiality, the documents they need, how important financial reports and your financial information is. So with a lot of the sellers, our job is really holding their hands and educating them on this is how the process is going to work. This is what you need. These are the things that are going to make your business more valuable. These are the things that are making your business less valuable. And the goal is to get them as informed as possible, help them get their business ready as quickly as possible, and then really understanding what their needs and goals are so that, we can help meet their needs, their goals, because that's really the ultimate result here is we're trying to help somebody transition from one situation to another and do it as effectively and successfully as possible.
Do they hold any sort of preconceived notions when it comes time to selling? What are some of the most common thoughts that you hear that people hold on to?
Well, sellers always have an emotional attachment to their business, and they often don't know what the market is or what their business is really worth. So the first thing you have to do is find out, do they have a realistic understanding of what this business is really worth? And sometimes they do, and sometimes they're way off base and to the point where you can't really help them. But again, it's an education process. You show them, all right, you think your accountant told you your business is worth 7 times sales. Well, that's not the market. And then you try and provide them with information. Here is 50 businesses like yours that have sold in the last 3 years. And the average is 2 times, earnings or 50% of sales or whatever the number is. So those misconceptions or lack of understandings are things that we try and address right away and try and get them to be as educated as possible. I mean, once they understand things, then it's generally fairly easy to work with the sellers and try and help them get to their end goal.
As you start working with business owners, I mean, I understand there's a pretty high percentage, maybe up to 80% of businesses that go on the market end up not selling. What do you find are like some of the biggest common mistakes or pitfalls that these business owners make that perhaps sabotage them from being successful?
Well, first is they're trying to do it themselves and they don't know what's involved. They don't know the process. They don't know how much time it takes. A lot of business owners will try and do this and they don't understand that they're going to have to talk to 5, 10, 20 buyers every week. And they have to send documents and emails and back and forth. And that can really take away from their focus of running their business. So, one of the biggest reasons people fail to sell their business is because they're trying to do it themselves and they can't provide the information in a timely manner or present it in the best light. So that's one of the key reasons. I think a lot of businesses could be sold, if it's done professionally and if it's done right. And it takes time. Sometimes I've had businesses on the market for 3 years, and I just sold one that I had for 3 years. We had three deals fall apart during the time frame, and the seller stuck with me. Was very confident that I was doing my job, and he could see while I was doing the people I were bringing. So we did it professionally. It was a tough business to sell. We sold it. Everybody's really happy. I think 80% might be low. I think maybe 90% of businesses don't sell. But it's also because they're not professionally done. They're not marketed right. They're not presented right. Isn't a good search for buyers, or a look at all the potential ways you can sell the business. So that's where a professional is going to help you. Is they're going to bring the other aspects of the process in that most sellers don't have time or knowledge to deal with.
Larry, what inspired you to get into this field and help business owners with their exit planning and selling their businesses? How did you get started?
Good question. I worked in corporate real estate and transaction business for 25 years downtown with a guy named Sam Zell, and I learned a tremendous amount from him. We did billions of dollars in transactions, and I was involved in a lot of different areas. So it was something I had the background for. I'm a CPA, I'm a financial guy, IT guy. And what really happened was I had a couple of friends ask me to help them find a business. And I was very successful in doing that for them. And I'm like, well, why don't I go do that for myself? And I started looking at businesses, and then I ran across a TransWorld guy, and he said, with your background, you're ready to go. And it was really kind of true. I do have the right background for it, but I really like helping people. It's my job is about, it's not a sales job. I'm not going to sell somebody the fact that they should sell their business. It's when they want to sell their business, they'll ask me, can you help me? And there's nothing better than helping people. And I've had a lot of really good relationships I've developed with my clients, and still see a lot of them, years after I've sold their business. So I got into it because I started helping other people, and it just was naturally my background, and I've really enjoyed the aspect of, just helping people.
Terrific. Larry, before I ask you my last question, is there anything that I didn't think to ask you in regards to exit planning or selling a business that you feel is important to share with business owners today?
Well, when you start thinking about it, you should really do some research. Understand there's a lot you can do with exit planning in the last 2 or 3 years to turn your business into a much more sellable, lucrative transition. Most people don't understand that, what is the things that sell businesses? What are the key components? And once you understand that, I think then you can start working towards that. And we do a lot of exit planning with people that are 3 or 5 years out. But, the problem most sellers have is they're waiting to sell their business till they're tired of it. Their enthusiasm's down. The sales are not what they used to be. And that's really the wrong time. You've gone past the time to sell your business. You really want to sell it closer to the top than when you're starting to slow crawl down to retirement.
Sage advice. Larry, for folks listening who would love to speak with you, how can they find you and connect?
Well, I'm at TransWorld Business Advisors of Downers Grove, so you can find that website. But the easiest way is to send me an email, lswanson@tworld.com. That's LSWANSON at the letter T, the word world.com. And, email's the way you do most of your activities these days. So I'm always on my email, always on my phone, and that's the easiest, best way to get me.
Larry, this has been terrific. I really appreciate you taking the time to share with my audience today, and I wish you continued success for you and for all of your clients.
Well, thanks a lot. I really appreciate it.
That was Larry Swanson with TransWorld, and this segment's brought to you by booksgrowbusiness.com. It's the place where busy professionals get their books done and published to educate consumers, grow their businesses, and to leave a legacy. That's all for now. I'm Mark Imperial, and thanks for joining me.